Hello everyone, welcome to another video discussion. In this video we're not going to talk about Dragunov, we're going to talk about something more generic, which is throw break. Now, you might notice something weird about my camera, my webcam, and that's because only now I realized that the camera was flipped. So you will get used to that, and I am even more handsome with the camera flipped. But anyway, let's introduce the topic of today's video. And then, like I said, I want to talk about throw break because this is something that has been bothering me for the last few days. Let's jump into the game. And now I'm going to show you something first. The fucking microphone is covering the arcade stick, but I own an arcade stick, right? And this game is designed with an arcade stick in mind. And you know that to break throws, you either press the one button, the 2 button, or 1+2. You press both buttons at the same time, right? So when you're holding an arcade stick, you usually leave your index finger on the 1 button, the middle finger on the 2 button, and then you press both of them when you need to press 1+2. And this is the optimal way to break throws. On a pad, on the other hand, which I have, if you hold it the normal way, you don't play in claw like this, or I don't know how this is called, but this stupid grip here. Unless you hold it like this, you only use your thumb to push the front buttons, right? So it's hard to see, but this is 1 and this is 2, right? So you can only press one of these buttons at the same time. So what happens is that most pad players, and I know this for sure because Dragunov's one break is statistically the easiest grab to break. I don't use the 1 grab most of the times. I only stick with the 2 grab or 1+2, and I only use the 1 grab as a mix-up because most people, they will break the 1 grab. And why is that? Because most pad players, including me, we rest the thumb on the 1 button, so that if we're not doing anything, we're just moving around, blocking. If you get grabbed, you can immediately mash the 1 button to at least attempt a break, right? It's usually the 1 button because the 1 jab is pretty good. Most characters, their 1 jab it's really awesome, right? The 2 jab, it's usually not that great. So you leave your thumb on the 1 button, right? I don't know if you can see it on the 1 button, but this creates a problem because you need you need 2 fingers, one on the 1 button and one on the 2 button, and then both of them to press 1+2. And this is not possible on a pad unless you play like this, but using your fingers like this. And this is a problem because personally I can't play like this. The buttons are just too small compared to an arcade stick where I can rest my whole hand on it. And you can even use my thumb. The 3 button, I use my thumb, right? Most people do this. 3, 1, 2, and 4. I usually map the 4 button here, so I can use my I don't know the name of this finger, but the one between the middle and the pinky finger. So you always have this on the 1 button and this on the 2 button, and both of them to press 1+2. And this makes breaking throws much easier. It's not gonna make breaking throws super easy. You're still gonna struggle. It's still gonna be complicated, but I promise you, it doesn't matter how, like, I've played on a pad for a million years. I've played on a pad since the PS1 era. So I'm extremely comfortable with this peripheral. But even me can't do, like, if I rest my thumb on the 1 button, I just can't switch from the 1 button to the 2 button if I get grabbed. I just can't react in time. Let's say I'm resting my thumb on one button, I get grabbed, I realize, oh, it's a 2 break. By the time you switch from the 1 button to the 2 and you press, you got thrown 50 times and you lost match. It simply doesn't work. You need to have one finger on the 1 button, another finger on the 2 button, and then both of them for 1+2. So I try to mitigate this. For example, on this part, I try to mitigate this because on the trigger here, I have mapped 2 plus 3. You see? 2 plus 3. So I just realized that I can use this button, the trigger, as a 2 break. So if Dragunov... okay, that's a 1+2. That's a 1. Can you do a 2? No, that's a 1. Here you go. I can use I can use this as a 2 break, because the game will register 2 plus 3 as a 2 break. So you can kinda mitigate that, but then you have the 1+2 problem. Personally, I have the 1+2 mapped on L1. And when I am holding the pad, I usually hold this handle of the pad with my entire hand, like this, because it gives me more grip for Korean back. What the fuck are you doing? Korean backdash and other stuff, right? But I realized that when it comes to the attack buttons, I usually leave my index finger here on the trigger, so I can press the 2 break in case I need to break a 2 grab, right? But the problem is the 1+2, because for the 1+2, like I said, I could press both of them and it kinda works, but the problem is that this is a completely different kind of input from the front button. You usually get either the 1 before the 2, so the game will register that as a 1 break instead of a 1+2, or you will get the 2 break before the 1 break and it will register as a 2 break instead of a 1+2. Either way, I just can't find a way to play on a pad, because I tried the arcade stick for like 4 months. But I just can't get comfortable with the stick. Like, I got decent, but it's still far from what I'm able to do with the pad. And right now I'm using a Japanese stick. I think it's a little bit too mushy. It's a little bit too soft. This is a Sanwa. Maybe with a Korean stick, but I don't know. You have to spend money, and so I'm really struggling these days to find a decent peripheral to at least have a good starting point to break throws. I think that the pad is just not suited for breaking throws. You just have to find the workarounds, like I showed you. Just use this as a 2 break and press both of them at the same time. But even when you want to do that, the PS5 pad, because it has triggers, it makes this very inconsistent. So recently I was thinking about an Ori pad, which has buttons, right? The R2 and the L2 are just regular buttons, right? Not regular, but they're very similar to R1 and R2. So I was thinking about an Ori that is still expensive though. It's like 50 euros. And some people also complain that it breaks very, very easily. I was thinking of switching to an Ori after seeing that the Chikurin is actually using an Ori now. He switched from arcade stick to pad. Now he's using the pad. Chikurin, if you don't know, is the guy that won Evo with Lily. And I saw that he was using that specific pad, and I wanted to give it a try, but With this video, I wanted to explain to you that if you're struggling with breaking throws, most likely is because of your peripheral, which is not suited for breaking throws. Remember that Tekken is a game that is designed to be played on a stick, and on an arcade stick you have your entire hand. Like you can rest all of your fingers on the arcade stick, and in most cases you will have the index finger on the one button and the middle finger on the two button, and this will make breaking throws much more, I'm not gonna say easy, but it's definitely more doable. But on a pad, and I see this every day, it's like people will really struggle, and it's not just because they're scrubs or anything. I just genuinely think that the pad is not suited. Because if I try a regular grab or a one grab, they can break that because of the trick of leaving the thumb on the one button. But then you start to mix throws, you start to use the two, and then oh god, I need to switch from the one to the two, and then the 1+2. Oh my god, how am I supposed to do this? I need to have a blind, and it's usually hard to react in time. Throws are very fast. Like the throw break, it's very small. You don't have time to jump from one button to another. It's your fingers need to be already there, ready to press the correct break. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I mean, if you're a prodigy, I don't know, you're a fucking genius, maybe you will be able to play on a pad and break throws consistently. But I think that most people, and I see this online, they just can't do it. They just can't do that. But switching to an arcade stick is very complicated. I played this crap for 4 months, and I got decent, but it's gonna take me a long time. And I just find the stick to be imprecise, just too mushy. The stick is just too mushy, and I get a lot of misinputs. I don't know. It's hard to make the jump from pad to stick. And the arcade stick can be very hard to control. You can get a lot of misinputs. So yeah, this is basically what I wanted to explain to you with this video. Just remember that I just wanted to explain to you that throw breaking is hard, and sometimes the peripheral matters. It is actually important to remember that on pad it's very hard, and you need to find a way so that you have your fingers on the 1, on the 2, and on the 1+2 at any time. It's extremely important. So if you can play like this, honestly, I would suggest you to do this. I just can't. My fingers are just too big. Like my hands are just too big to play like this. I just can't. I just can't do it. My fingers will start to hurt. Something that doesn't happen to me on arcade, because you have big buttons. But then you know you have to play with a stick, and this is not easy to do. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. So thank you so much for watching, and take care.